So let's move on to the next trailer. What do we have coming up down the pipe? Ooh, I mean, talk about organized racism. Okay, so we have the Conclave trailer 2. Let's see what this has got. Is that Danny Fiennes? Ralph Fiennes? Ray Fiennes? Is it Ralph or Ray?
Ralph Fiennes.
Ralph Fiennes? Yeah.
The Pope is dead. The throne is vacant.
The conclave begins now. We're about to choose the most famous man in the world.
And 1.25 billion souls watching.
Let's say this is a pretty fair vision of hell.
Well, don't be blasphemous, Ray. Hell arrives tomorrow when we bring in the cardinals.
No sane man would want the papacy.
Some of our colleagues seem to want it.
Another cardinal has just turned up. He was never on our list.
He has to be an imposter.
You look anxious. Everything under control.
John Lithgow.
Where did you get this?
The Holy Father was spying on all of us.
You should be careful, Thomas.
Although we sisters are supposed to be invisible, God has nevertheless given us eyes and ears.
What did you discuss with the Holy Father in that final meeting?
Arrangements were made in Paris.
I shall pretend this conversation never took place.
But it has taken place. This is a conclave. It's not a war.
It is a war. And you have to commit to a side.
Telling it, family.
Why did the Holy Father, in his last official act as Pope, choose me to run this conclave?
The reasons would become clear soon enough.
Ooh. Did you see that last quote?
The reasons will become clear soon enough.
No. The last quote was as somebody was saying, Oscar movie of the year.
Oh yeah, best film.
Best film of the year.
It looks so good from the trailer. I actually hope that all of that is true because they repeated that a few times during that.
I mean, because I'm going to tell you, I love Ralph. I'm going to call him Ralph. Ralph Fiennes. I love Stanley Tucci. I love Isabella Rossellini. I love John Lithgow. And you get all of them in there. Oh,
I hope it is best picture of the year and it wins that. And like when they do the 4-year consideration campaigns, that this one is completely up there because that looked like expensive to make.
That looked expensive. Really? That looked like that's one of those like they're gonna say some things that you didn't think that are actually close to the truth. And
anyway, that looked.
Excuse me, ma'am. Could you please silence your phones before the movie?
I'm expensive.
Okay.
And that like costumes, locations, just the cast itself, supremely costly to put together the back end pieces to make that. I can only imagine how good the score is going to be with an epic film like this because obviously they were making it. Edward was making it and the studio was making it with the intention of putting it forth for the Oscar. They said, we're done with that Christopher Nolan shit. It's our deal.
Well, because I mean, we could also start talking about. I mean, that might be a segment for a future episode of what do we got now this year that looks like top for Oscars this year. What are the best film categories looking like this year? I feel like it's a little shallow compared to. I mean, because of last year. Because there was a 6-month hiatus, there was a 6-month walkout, and so what is this year going to look like? Anyway, we'll get to that. It's different. But this is the Conclave, directed by Edward Berger. Star-studded cast, talking about the funny issues about Catholics choosing a pope. I'm excited for it. That actually seems like a really good one.
I don't think that's funny. I mean, I really feel like
I think there's some hilarity in it. There's going to be some hilarity in it. Or it's just like, or I'm just going to laugh because I'm like, you guys used to run this world? Oh, hilarity.
True, because it's the real life of it all. But no, I feel like they were aiming for political thriller with this one. Like, Raph finds himself with a moral dilemma or some sort of dilemma, a career-wise dilemma of what am I going to do? And God knowing why am I in this position? but I really think that they were going for like the seriousness of what it is to be a member of the Vatican and the machinations that go around.
The politics? Oh my God.
And the behind the doors what's involved in choosing the next pope. And to Catholics around the world, they'd probably be very interested in the procedures and the processes and getting an inside look of what that is.
It ain't just black smoke, white smoke. There's a lot behind it, you know?
It feels like the Vatican has their own electoral college.
Yeah, and then the crazy thing is they're dealing with cardinals and bishops around the world too, and so the politics it's on top of the politics, you know, like intrigue, and then you have to answer to Stanley Tucci. I do not want to be grilled by Stanley Tucci.
This feels like a massive movie, like overall. Like this feels huge. A budget feels huge. Costuming feels huge. Actors and talent feel huge. The story itself feels huge, and definitely the locations are huge. Like this has blockbuster written all over it, but it's not like blockbuster has, we've known it with like superheroes and stuff. This is blockbuster on. I'm low key blockbuster, but I'm still a big old chunk of film. I'm a big old bite of film. That's what it feels like.
That's what it feels like. I'm like, yo, at the end of the year, we're still gonna be talking about this film. You know? Yeah.
I don't know if it's gonna be like Gladiator level, like iconic, but.
Well, I mean, I don't think the action scenes in this movie are gonna compare either. But you know, what can you do?
The vote, give me the vote.
The vote, and then a lion comes out, starts swiping, like, shit, we gotta fight this up. All right.
The ballot,
quick,
air flying through the ground. Who's gonna catch it?
Quick, put the white smoke in the furnace. Put the white smoke. He's gotta take a sword and hack his way through a whole crowd of people to get to the furnace to say we've chosen a pope. You know,
say a prayer. Say a prayer.
All right, we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. The Conclave coming out. What do I see? In Canada, it's coming out October 25th.
Yeah.
October 25th. All right. The Conclave.